Hello, hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. This is the second stream of today. Today Thursday, October 16th. It is 2:46 p.m. Eastern Time in the US. The reason why I'm doing this is just by personal here, alright? And it all calls to the title. I think what I have written in the title kind of like encloses all that markets are about what markets want me to do, right? If I don't have a plan. From the beginning, from the opening, there were some good odds that there was a lot of chop and rotation here in this market. There has been a lot of chop here, all right? I don't know how you have got through this day. At least let me know if you have been trading. I haven't placed any trade. I have pretty much dedicated the day to try to do some, I remember I was working at this volume, ES volume that I have here. And I still haven't completed. I still have not completed. Couldn't make it work yet. Oh, wow, this is interesting here. Notice how high openings, high volumes of the opening. Zero, we have zero here. This is better than this. This all starts on zero here. We can have have an idea here. Okay, this is something I expected. All right, that's not what I want to talk about. I have been watching this market with the side of my eye, and just feeling how it had a lot of chop, a lot of rotation, going back and forth, back and forth. If I see the whole day, I may see some direction now. Notice where value was, for example, right? Was in the upper side, and now is overlapping. It's overlapping lower, clearly overlapping lower, right? Clearly overlapping lower. We have seen at the beginning that the Nasdaq was the only index. Nasdaq was the only index that was breaking or taking the upper side of the range, and all the other ones were inside days. And the question at the time was, is Nasdaq going to be able to lead, to bring all the indices higher, or Nasdaq is going to meet the other ones on its way down? That was kind of like close at the closing of the stream, and when that happened, we also saw what was happening here in Nasdaq in the upper side, of how the market re-entered previously range, You can see here how really enter at the 4. You know, look above, come back, look above again, and come back inside again, right? And that action actually targeted the opposite side, which has been reached. I'm not saying that I knew what was going to happen. I'm not saying that I took a shot. I didn't take anything. I was flat here throughout the day. I didn't do anything, absolutely nothing today. I am actually, I think I'm glad, I'm happy here because that was part of my plan. That was really was part of my plan. I am following the plan here. And if somebody was trading this, I guess, man, I have the impression that either you will stop out just to see the market going in the direction of your trade afterwards, just after you were stopped out. If that did not generate really a feeling, right, that I got the market, I know I know what's happening, I know what I need to do, I have to do it again, over and over and over, right? If you didn't have that, I think that's a good sign that you are into something, that you have not fallen, or you have failed for what the market wants from you. In order to have your money, the market first wants you to believe, right, that you can do it. It gives you small wins and then takes a big chunk. Take all the wins back and then more, right? One of the things that we have noticed here, this is what time is 50. This is 50. All right, is that the market is very close actually. We have these multiple lows, multiple weekly lows, very close together. Right? You have one here, one here, one here. We have 4, including this week, right? 4 weekly lows around the same area. And what I am going to do, I am going to call this a go no go level now. Maybe the 6600. Okay. I don't want to be exactly here, but you have the idea, right? You have the idea how these week lows are around the 6600, and this 6600 is something that can be of relevance down the road. There is tremendous, again, this is another day in which I have seen a lot of trading, a lot of volume coming, something that I don't see that often, right? Look at these big blocks here, for example, right? I guess I have 1,000 here. I saw 1,000, did I? No. Okay, there's a 850, 400 here. Not that much, really. This is a 12. Where is a 12? Is this 12? What is this? Night 30. Okay, well, maybe here. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 periods. The sixth period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting pretty much hard back. I have seen something that I've noticed is the accumulation of volume. Just check this. I'm going to put a ray here, kind of like a parallel ray. So you can check the volume we have yesterday relative, or the volume we have today relative to yesterday. Notice, for example, here is low, a little bit higher than the opening. Check the other one, about the same again, about the same again. This is very unusual. This part, this one here, was very unusual because there was higher volume here and during the break. And the same thing repeating back to back on 2 consecutive days. This is really weird. I expected this one to be lower, but it matched. It matched again, and now suddenly, just after this, notice what we have. This one here, the next one, right? This one here just increases. What is this? What this is this break here. And then during this break, we have it matches, and we have another increase here. Right. I'm going to grab this one and move it higher, just to keep the volume. Should be a little bit higher than this mark, and as you can see, it's higher. It's higher than that. So there is volume. There was volume coming down here as the market, and notice where the market brings volume. When there's a breakout here to the downside, and when there's a breakout of this to the downside as well. This one and this one here. I am just checking here. I may be biased here, but this has been really weird day, man. This has been a really weird day. There was a lot of whipsaw during the intraday, a lot of chop. Suddenly the markets are doing something, and then suddenly it goes in the opposite direction really fast, kind of like far, and then just come back to where it was. I mean, if I was trading, this would have been a nightmare. It brings back painful memories. Really, it does. Right? The one thing I noticed is there's a distribution here to the downside, and now I want to check. Okay, now I want to check if or where this market closes, or where Nasdaq in particular, where Nasdaq closes relative to yesterday, because back inside leaves the range, or it closes outside to the downside, because as the market has looked above, has looked below. There can be some, really, remember, there is volume in this period here, and there's volume in this period here. Bringing volume here means that there is short inventory there. Okay, so I am aware here. I'm aware that the odds, okay, or some sort of short covering or short squeeze may happen, but I'm not going to bet a single penny into that. And I remember, as usual, I'm still following my plan here. I don't have a thing. I'm not in a hurry to do anything else. I wonder if this one is better. I think this one is better than this, right? Because over here, colored, even though it's colored, maybe I can feel bars here. Instead of being a line, it can be. So I can. For example, here, notice during this period. I don't know what period it is. This is yellow here. The next one is purple, right? Hold, oh, come on. What it should be up here, but it decreases, right? And this is this part here. You know, it decreases further, and then suddenly, again, boom. Yeah. Boom. This one still hasn't plotted. Hasn't plotted. It has this period. That's a bug that I have here in this one. It doesn't fill the last period until I have until this one ends. I need to work on that. I'm tired though. Okay, but okay, let's go back to what we are here for. Remember you plan. Remember that I have no obligation to have a long or to have a short here. POC is unlikely to move lower unless this market has downside extension. If this market has downside extension, this one will move down here, or if there is M here trading in this area, we will have POC down here as well. And that, if that happens, that can kind of like relieves the pressure on the of the shorts, right? It makes the shorts safer, or it reduces the risk for the shorts. And this is just on speaking in probabilistic terms. Let's not remember nothing is absolute here. Now, I'm observing. Notice what happened here. Notice what's happening here. Notice what happened here as well. Very systematic, very mechanical selling. Okay. I'm going to move this drawing over here. Why I highlight, why I say this is weak, because it is settled. Right? It is just right at settled here. Now this distribution has been closed. Possible final destination of this trade also coincides with the time that Nasdaq has reached the opposite side. You know, no wonder, right? No wonder that this happens simultaneously. Right? And some buying is expected once this has happened. It's an area that everybody can see. I'm not saying I knew that was going to happen, but as this market develops lower, yes, I can avoid, but notice what happened here in Nasdaq, no? And this is also a probable area for this market. This below here, this kind of weakness that I see in the upper side, copy and move drawing, yeah. Oh, and at the beginning, every single week reference that the market was forming, either buying from opening, selling from halfback, selling from the low, or whatever, selling high, every single one was check out, everything until this happens here. Right? Notice how the bigs was, remember, we talked about that, how bigs was, I guess at the time was 20.6, something like that. now VIX is 24, so volatility is increasing here. Remember, volatility is increasing. The ranges are getting wider. 20% volatility was giving us a 100 points range. 24 can give us more. On the higher the VIX, the higher the range that we can have during the day. I wouldn't be surprised, right? A movement that comes back up to here or even up to here in the last period is not, or is within the realm of the possibilities here. Going to be on board? Actually, I have no idea. Personally, I don't think so. And this is what the market wants. Yeah? I'm talking about that. I'm speaking about that. I don't feel comfortable today. I don't feel physically fine. I feel like I'm tired. I'm not focused because I'm working these volume charts. However, I want to place a trade. That's what the market wants me to do. Not follow my plan. If I want to place a trade, I will find a reason to get into a trade. And more than often, and often that is going to be a bad trade. That's almost guaranteed to happen. 95% of the time, that's how it happens. There's nothing, I don't have here nothing that is sticking out kind of like clearly, right? I don't mean in the from the technical analysis, but something that I have learned is with time, when you teach your intuition, when you learn about market, how markets behave, you kind of like have something there, right? And I have talked about this before. You have something. There is, something that it's just you can avoid here. It's like a gut feeling. Okay, wait a minute. There's something here. What's happening here? Oh, wait. Something some sort of like something like that, right? Today I don't have, if any. Hey, Malik, 1451. Well, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I don't know if you're still there. Are you there, Malik? Please let me know you're there. It's not like a strategy that I have, but I see something, right? Remember, if I'm going to use a strategy, let's say for example, anything, I'm going to use this chart. Let me screenshot this chart. Okay, and when the market comes down to POC, I am going to go long. Every time that there is a market there's an inside day, or based on this set of rules, I'm going to do this. Right? That could be a strategy. You name it, right? Name them reference. It can be VWAP, it can be SMA 50, SMA 5, SMA 12, SMA 21, or whatever. It's not that easy, man. If trading was that easy, just imagine I just can give. I am building this program here, right? This custom study for Sierra that can give me accumulated volumes for the years for each period, so I can compare today's to previous day. I can just do the same building a strategy and do that here, right? And if I can, guess what? Everybody else can. Can you imagine what hedge funds, what these big trading firms can do with all the capital they have available? Of course, they're going to be much, much, much better than I do. I will ever can be. And trading is not just like that. It just doesn't work like that. That will be machines trading. At the end, there is programs of trade because if I buy or sell, there's a program that execute that buying, right? That's algorithmic buying. But you will see, you start to see some behavior, and that's what I do here. And that is the core, or that's it, that is what discretionary traders do. One of the things, for example, today I was just thinking, for example, where this market, what can be the potential destination? One of the things that I watch, maybe this is useful for you. I'm going to put a market here, this one here. Notice where POC is. But this PO, what the heck is that? This is halfback. I don't want a line. Okay, let's leave it a line. This is half. No, I don't want a line. Configuration opening. Oh. Come on, man. This is value. Halfback is a dynamic reference. I have observed, and this is based on observation. And when we have this kind of really bad days, this one happens on trending days as well. You know, this reference here, this one here, this halfback here, moves in such a way that ends in sometimes in a specific reference. I was watching here, for example, how much this range can extend to move POC maybe to this reference, to the 6700. Because that's a reference that can be programmed. Right? You can program the 67, 60, all those 100s. You can program also the low of the previous day, or the high, or the POC of previous day, stuff like that. Or settle too, right? Settle is way up here. Right? I observed that. Notice, for example, right now, what is happening right now. We have market is going lower. You have an action to the downside. And now L just ended that. Remember where L opened? L opened way up high in this K period. Way up high here. Right? This one took kind of like maybe 70% or more of its previous range, which is not a sign of a weak market. The retracement is just significant retracement this period. And what is happening now? It took this one high. Now we have an auction to the upside. This weakness has been corrected. So this is not this reference. I'm going to remove that one. Right. And look at what's happened. Look at what's happened with the inventory here. No? Inventory is getting short. The weekly time frame is in range. The monthly is higher. right? I guess next week we'll start to see we will start to see earnings pouring. I am waiting to see how close this month ends relative to the previous bar month range. All right. Notice what's been bought here. Notice this low here. Exactly, almost to the tick to the 50 SMA. Notice L low. Notice where HI low, I higher, and what we have above too. So this can go in any direction here. There can be really heavy oriented rapid move or directional move, and that can be rotated really fast as well. I got that internalized, and I am still sticking to my strategy. Not to my strategy, to my plan. All right. I am the contract, or part of, in this case, would be my strategy is, for example, if I feel tired, I might be here. I'd rather walk away, right? But if I am in front of the screen, doesn't matter what happened, I'm just not going to do anything. And that's the case, that's a specific case for today. It did happen that way, so what do you have signed it for? Do you have a plan? Check as also, this is too wide. Let me make it. Put it back where it was. Let's maximize the histograms here, because this, so we can see how this day has actually developed. Notice the accumulation up here. There's a lot of volume trying to go higher. Remember the significant volume that we have in the opening, very narrow range for a VIX that was 24.20 at the time. Downside, there's a lot of whites. There's a rebalancing that happened here. A lot of whites again, lots of whites again. Right? And now, look at this. Now, check this out. This is, I am just noticing. Okay, this is how I do things. This would be what a concord. Notice the formation that here, right? On the upper side, right? Volume here, volume here. Now, we pretty much have the same formation here. We got something here, right? With this one is here. We have this one here, and this one, and maybe here. There's something, but now, okay. And remember, this is just an observation. No, I'm not going to do anything here. But what are the odds, for example, of something like this happening and going higher versus the same thing happening way below, this is high and this is low, way below the same thing? What are the odds for any kind of movement in this direction, for example? This is better. This one has better odds than this one. I'm not saying the market is going to do that. That's just an observing, because what I see here is this buying here, this low exactly to the tick, the 15 moving hours. That's not a good low. And of course the highs are also, highs are not good either, are not bad. Trying to correct this one. Whites are coming. Saddles is way up here. And everybody is seeing, is watching, is seeing the day as a red day here. Volume remain constant. Notice how, okay, volume is coming back again. Okay, we are 22 minutes into the was in L period, into this period, and volume has already surpassed the gain that it has yesterday. There's a gain from here to here, there's a relative distance, and that relative distance here it is already high. And what the market is doing here, what they did before, okay, what did happen before, hope you remember what happened before. Each time the market had a breakout, there's volume here, breakout, volume here. Now we know that, and probably if I can see that, if I know that, guess what? Most likely everybody knows that as well. All right. So I am just going to keep, I don't have nothing else here to say. Now, oh, look at this. We have now excess, we have value here. Value. Something before I leave, something that I have noticed is there's actually good volume coming in these accumulations. For a day for a range that is that wide, it is not that bad, man. It's not that bad. The fact that I see the what of observing 10,000s, like it happened here in the opening, that was significant. That is significant. And then we have 8,000, because this chart is in 2 ticks period, 2 ticks. Yeah, these charts are made in 2 ticks. All right. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Hope you had navigated this. This was a really hard day to navigate. Hope you have a good one. From my side, I didn't do anything. I hope I can see you guys tomorrow. Unless you have any questions, because I'm going to call it a day and wrap it in the next couple seconds. All right? Have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. See you.